Hello and welcome to the unofficial guide to positive parenting. I'm Abby, mum of 3-year-old Willow, and on this channel we'll be discussing everything under the positive parenting umbrella. So today's video is going to be about emotional intelligence. What is it? Why is it so important? And how can we practice emotional intelligence as parents? So what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognise, understand and manage your emotions at any given time. It's basically being smarter with your feelings so that we make better choices. So why is it so important? I think it's just so important as a parent to have these skills because you'll have happier and healthier relationships with your kids. Your home life will be happier. Your kids will learn to have positive relationships with others. And studies show that emotionally intelligent parents are more likely to have emotionally intelligent children. So I think that's something to really keep in mind in our day-to-day lives. So Daniel Goleman is a psychologist and an author of the book Emotional Intelligence: Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. It's a really interesting read. He actually breaks down emotional intelligence into 5 key components, which is what we're going to base the video on today. But what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description of this video for this book. So if you do want to get yourself one, then obviously you can. So the number 1 key component is self-awareness. So basically understanding our emotions and being able to manage them in a skillful way and not letting your feelings overwhelm all rationality. So for example, you've been on the phone to your ex or a partner and they've really wound you up or upset you, and you're just feeling overwhelmed with emotions. You're in one room, the kids are in another room. So to be self-aware would be to isolate those negative emotions as a parent, not take them into the other room for your kids to see, because obviously it's not their fault and it shouldn't, have to affect them and overspill onto them. So maybe take some deep breaths, suggest to the kids that you go for a walk or go to the park, do a bit of exercise, just really distract yourself from those negative emotions, because the chances are by the time you've got home from time out with your kids, the emotions are going to be so much less and easier to deal with. So that is what it would mean to be self-aware of your emotions. So number 2 is self-regulation. So that means to control your impulses. So for example, you've told your kids to brush their teeth and they're all running around the house screaming. None of them are picking up their toothbrushes. It would be so easy to lose it and just start shouting at them. I've done it so many times with Willow when she's not listening and I've just lost it. But obviously the emotionally intelligent thing to do would be to remain calm. So obviously get down to their level, get them to look you in the eye and explain to them why it's important that they brush their teeth and that it's bedtime, and deal with it in an emotionally intelligent way. Because at the end of the day, if we can't be emotionally intelligent ourselves and self-regulate our emotions, then how can we ever expect them to learn how to do so as well? So we really need to model appropriate behaviour. So number 3 is motivation. So basically not letting failures get in the way of your goals, showing your kids that you are resilient when it comes to failures and making mistakes, and that making mistakes helps find solutions and is all a part of learning. So hopefully as your kids get older, they won't be afraid to make mistakes. So number 4 is empathy. So really being able to relate to other people and understand their emotions and act accordingly in a considerate, fair and balanced manner. So for example, and this happens to me all the time, your little one is having a bit of a tantrum or a bit of a moan and a cry, and you don't know why, they don't know why. So, you've got to start thinking about possibly why they feel the way they do. Maybe they're hungry, maybe they're frustrated, maybe they're overstimulated, or maybe they're just tired. And they're little people, they're so small, they've not got the emotional intelligence to be able to deal with their own emotions. They're really big emotions for little people and they don't know how to behave. So shouting at the kid or telling them off for, crying or making a scene is not helpful really. I mean, what I tend to do is to pick up Willow, give her a cuddle. That's the first thing that I do. And obviously when she's calm, then I can talk to her about what's wrong and what's causing her to act the way she is. And usually she'll tell me exactly why. When she's calmed down, she'll say, I'm tired or I'm a bit hungry. And it's been resolved. But obviously when it comes to them being naughty or doing things they shouldn't be doing, positive parenting and emotional intelligence doesn't mean that you shouldn't tell them off. Of course, if they're doing something wrong, they need to be told so that they can not do it again, basically. So again, I'll usually wait for Willow to calm down if she's doing something wrong. Like, for example, sometimes we'll have loud music playing around the living room, we're both running around, we're both messing around, and then Willow will, come up and punch me in the arm. And I empathise with why she's done that, and it's because her energy is high and she doesn't sometimes know how to cope with it. We're playing music and she does it like out of impulse, and I can't tell her off. I understand, I can empathise with why she's done it, but at the same time I've got to sit her down and tell her why that's not okay and why she shouldn't do that again, and that type of thing. So just being really fair and considerate with them and really trying to take into account their emotions at the time when resolving the issue. So the fifth and final one is social skills. So social skills are a bit more to do with the feelings of other people rather than about regulating our own emotions and acting appropriately when in a social situation. So for example, you go to the supermarket, just make sure you're being friendly and kind, you're saying hi to the workers there, you're saying your pleases and thank yous, you're not interrupting people, you're listening, and just acting in an appropriate way that they can learn from. So I hope this has been helpful in some sort of way to you. I know that it will take a bit of time to master all of these things, and it's more of an ongoing process because nobody's perfect and we all have emotions. So, it'd be silly to think that you could master this completely. There are going to be times, when you've really got to work hard on it. But yeah, it's just something to think about in your day-to-day life, because obviously if we can master these skills ourselves, then our kids have got a much better chance in developing good emotional skills themselves. So our next video is going to be how to raise an emotionally intelligent child. So basically give tips and advice and information on how to help your little one understand their feelings and emotions, how to deal with them and manage them. There's so many benefits to having an emotionally intelligent child. They should teach this more in schools. So yeah, please do subscribe and hit the notifications button if you think that this would be of interest to you. If it's already been posted, then most likely there'll be a link on the page already. And if you've gained anything from this video, then please do give it a like. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you next time.